Shabbat Shalom and welcome to Thought for Shabbat. This week's Torah portion is so instructive for the time we are in. It's a portion you will be familiar with. It's a portion in which Abraham is commanded to sacrifice Isaac. And it begins this way. Vayehi achar hadevarim ha'ele, v'ha'elohim nisa et Avraham, vayomer elav Avraham, vayomer hineni. And after all these trials, God put Abraham to the test one more time. And God said to Abraham, Abraham. And Abraham said, Hineni, here I am. Time and again, we Jewish people have been put to the test. The test between blessing and curse, and worse, the test between life and death. We always, to the very best of our ability, choose blessing and choose life. But this test is a hard test. This test of the past month has pushed us to our core. When evil invades, all you want to do is strike back as hard as you possibly can, which is appropriate. And you want to do so in a way that doesn't lower you to the place of evil, but still keeps you elevated in defense not only of your people, but of your values. As I witness what's going on with our family in Israel, our Jewish brothers and sisters are defending both their physical lives and their spiritual lives. They have all said, each and every one of those brave soldiers and those very brave and courageous people being held captive, they have said, I'm here. I'm here. Those soldiers are tasked with gruesome deeds out of necessity. And as Jewish people, we too are being tested no matter where we are, about our faith, about the difference between evil and goodness, the difference between understanding the facts of what happened by these homicidal maniacs who came across the border and butchered our people, and defense of some idea that mixes the innocent people of Palestine with these horrible terrorists named Hamas. We ought to be able to make a distinction. People who are on college campuses are supposed to be taking classes that teach them how to be discerning, how to be thoughtful. It's pretty obvious and doesn't take an A student, a B student, or even a D or F student to know the difference between people who want more rights and people who are homicidal maniacs. And going to a rally in which you celebrate the death of innocents at the hands of evil isn't a way to support people having more rights in Gaza. Seems to me a very simple calculus. And quite frankly, shame. Shame on any professor who would teach such, as my grandfather would say, Narishkeit. Shame on any student who doesn't know the difference between legitimate protests and one that supports the destruction of a people and of a faith. It would be no different than going to a KKK rally and saying, well, you know what? The KKK is really interested in supporting white America. And that's a legitimate cause. No, it's not a legitimate cause, because all the KKK is about is destruction and hate, as is Hamas. Our students at these college campuses would do well to know the difference between the Palestinians and, of course, Hamas. It's something we have to really think about, what's happening on college campuses, and why this is so hard for people to understand, when to me, it's so very simple. College is a place to say how you feel, explore what you are interested in, learn different ideas. But there is a line. There is a line between that which is legitimate and that by its very nature and immorality is inexcusable. Any person who goes to a rally in support of Hamas under the guise that it is a Palestinian freedom rally and doesn't mourn the lives of those killed by butchery, shame on them. I am at a loss for how anybody could confuse the two. I want us to be thoughtful people in defense of ourselves. We know we're being tested. I want us to continue to be moral in our fight, to be righteous in our deeds, to defend ourselves with every ounce of strength that we have, and not to be ashamed of it. For evil came upon us, we have to wipe out the evil. We have to be very careful to try our very best to prevent innocent loss of life. But as I've said many times, war is brutal. And if there's anybody to blame for the loss of innocent lives on both sides of the Gaza-Israeli border, it's Hamas. It's not Israel. I want us so much to be that Or LeGoyim, a light unto the nations. But our light has been dimmed during this test, not because we are any less of an example. I think we are still the moral exemplar here. However, the world has said, no, there's something wrong. There's something not just about this cause. I am at a loss for words of how to explain to anybody the brutality of what happened on October 7th and the resulting defense of the Jewish nation by the IDF is a righteous cause. And anybody who can't see that, I don't know how better to explain it to you, other than you're looking to hang your hat on something in the cause of something else that doesn't belong over here. And you only make yourself morally duplicitous when you try and connect the two. So knock it off. Look at the facts, look at the reality. Let the world use its brain instead of its brainwash to make decisions between right and wrong. God tested Abraham, and we are tested today, and all of us say, Hineni, we are here. I am here. Please join us tonight, 6:30 for family services. We will take a break from the pain and the suffering of the Jewish world and celebrate Shabbat with our families and with everyone who chooses to come or watch online. 6:30 tonight at Shir Hamalot. Look forward to celebrating Shabbat. Take care, be well, and God bless you.